What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, July 10th, 2025, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 15:30 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Eastern Europe. Right now we have US nuclear forces on very high alert for some reason. What you're looking at here is a flight tracker showing the continental United States, and we currently have a missile detecting and tracking plane over North Dakota. We have a nuke sniffer plane over Kansas. We have a nuclear war command and control and communications plane over Iowa. And then we also have a high priority reconnaissance plane over New Mexico. So this is very, very rare to see all of these strategic planes up in the air at the same time. Something big is going down or about to go down, and the last 2 days we had these nuke sniffers and Cobra balls up in the air over the US. This was yesterday. You can see here a nuke sniffer plane was airborne over Minnesota. Then we had a doomsday plane over Missouri. And then we had a reconnaissance plane patrolling this area over Michigan and Wisconsin. So over the last 3 days, US nuclear and strategic forces have been on very high alert for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. And last night, Russia launched another massive drone attack on Ukraine. 2 nights ago, we had the largest drone attack on Ukraine ever, and the largest drone attack in human history, with over 700 drones launched at Ukraine, mostly targeting western Ukraine, right near the border of Poland. Okay, hundreds of drones impacting western Ukraine, just several miles from NATO's borders in Poland. Very, very concerning. And what you're looking at here is video footage from last night of another massive drone attack on the city of Kyiv. You can see all of the smoke and smog in the air from all of the kabooms from all the drones. Over 400 drones launched overnight at the capital district in Ukraine, and then the night before 700 drones. So well over 1,000 drones launched at Ukraine in 48 hours. And clearly this is Putin giving Trump the middle finger, because Trump just said that he didn't like what was happening in Ukraine. He was disappointed with Putin. He said that Putin talks a lot of bullshit, and he talks a lot of nice things, but nothing ever comes of it. So Trump has basically lost his patience with Putin, and Trump is now going to put sanctions on Russia and give Ukraine more weapons, more Patriot air defense systems. But what's crazy is that there were so many explosions last night in the capital district of Ukraine that the air quality was really, really bad. As you can see, the Ukrainian government had to tell people to stay indoors and shut their windows because of all the smoke and soot in the air from all of the drone explosions. I mean, that is just absolutely apocalyptic. And here we have some more apocalyptic scenes coming out of Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. Look at this, guys. This is just totally insane, unbelievable. So last night, Russia launched a massive combined strike that lasted nearly 10 hours. 18 missiles, including ballistic missiles, and around 400 attack drones were used. Nearly 200 of them were the Iranian Shahed drones. The main target of the attack was Kyiv and the Kyiv region. Chernihiv, Sumy, Poltava, Kirovohrad, and Kharkiv regions also came under fire. Sadly, 2 people were reported killed in Kyiv. This is a clear escalation of terror by Russia. Hundreds of shaheeds every night, constant strikes, and massive attacks on Ukrainian cities. And this is what Zelensky said. This is what Zelensky was just confirming all of this. That's what I was just reading to you. He said, "This demands that we speed things up. Sanctions must be imposed faster, and pressure on Russia must be strong enough that they truly feel the consequences of their terror. There needs to be a quicker action from our partners in investing in weapons production and advancing technology. Today I will be speaking with partners, in particular within the Coalition of the Willing, about additional funding for the production of interceptor drones and the supply of air defense systems for Ukraine. The objectives are absolutely clear. Such Russian attacks must be met with a tough response, and that is exactly what we will deliver." So Zelensky saying that today he is speaking with his European allies and partners, and they're going to talk about the production of interceptor drones. This is a new concept that Ukraine has kind of pioneered. And basically these drones can intercept other drones. So this way the Ukrainians don't have to expend their air defense missiles shooting down drones, which is the main reason why Russia uses them, to expend the expensive air defense missiles. Okay, so interceptor drones are a new thing, very interesting. And we had some Russian VIP planes airborne last night. Here we have a Russian presidential doomsday plane, a Russian presidential communications relay plane, and also an open skies reconnaissance plane, which is used for tracking ballistic missiles. They all went to Siberia and the Urals last night. Very interesting. So I believe we're going to see a lot more of these attacks, and they might actually escalate. I think Russia's going to really put the pedal to the metal now that Trump is considering putting sanctions on Russia, and Trump is going to give Ukraine more air defenses. I think Russia is going to try to strike Ukraine as hard as possible before everything comes into play there. And the United Kingdom and France are saying that they're ready to coordinate their nuclear deterrence. Interesting. So France and the UK will somehow work together with their nuclear deterrence. And the U.S. Army plans to quadruple the purchase of Patriot missiles and spend more than $1.3 billion on them. This is being reported by Bloomberg. The amount will be allocated in the next fiscal year, which begins on October 1st. We're talking about increasing the purchase of Patriot missiles from 3,376 to 13,773. Wow. So the U.S. Army wants over 12,000, over 13,000 Patriot missiles next year. And China denied Germany's claim that its military used a laser to disrupt a German plane over the Red Sea. Beijing says its ships were conducting routine escort missions. Berlin says it has clear evidence and has summoned China's ambassador. And Trump is backing a new Russia sanctions bill. The bipartisan proposal led by Lindsey Graham includes steep tariffs on Russian oil and uranium. And Senate Majority Leader Republican John Thune said the Senate could vote this month on the Russia sanctions bill aimed at curbing Russia's energy sector. And the U.S. has resumed delivery of shells and rockets to Ukraine, according to Reuters, citing American officials. The U.S. has sent 155mm artillery shells and Gimler's rockets, which are launched from HIMARS systems. The exact quantity of ammunition and whether it has already reached the front lines was not disclosed by the sources. This development comes after recent comments from Trump, who stated he was very disappointed with Putin's behavior and that the U.S. would have to resume arms supplies to Ukraine. Shortly after his remarks, the Pentagon confirmed that new deliveries had begun. So this is huge news, guys. The U.S. is resuming a large number of weapons deliveries to Ukraine that they held up in the interest of goodwill to Russia to try to make peace with Russia. But Putin has basically given Trump the finger, and Putin has basically humiliated Trump. And Trump does not like to be humiliated, that's for sure. So now Trump is going to drop the hammer on Putin and squeeze him with sanctions and massive deliveries of weapons to Ukraine. And the Trump administration already said that they're not going to be telling any details to the public of what kind of weapons they're giving away and how many. And CNN has released an exclusive 2024 audio recording in which Trump told donors he threatened to bomb the shit out of Moscow if Russia invaded Ukraine. He said Putin believed it 10% and that's all you need. Trump says he gave a similar warning to Xi Jinping that the U.S. could bomb the shit out of Beijing if China attacked Taiwan. Let me play this for you so you can hear this for yourself.
Putin, I said, if you go in to Ukraine, you're going to bomb out of Moscow. I'm telling you, I have no choice. The public wants it. The public. So he goes like, I don't believe you. I said, he said, no way. And I said, wait. And then he goes like, I don't believe you. But the truth is, he believed me 10%. And I told you this, he believed me 10%. Then I'm with President Xi of China. But I said the same thing to them. I said, you know, if you go into Taiwan, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Beijing. He thought I was crazy. He said, Beijing? You're going to bomb Beijing? I said, I have no choice. I got to bomb them. We're going to bomb Beijing. And he didn't believe me either, except 10%. And 10% is all you need. In fact, 5% would have been okay too. And we never had a problem. We would have never had a problem.
Wow, very, very strong words there from Trump last year, saying he was going to bomb the shit out of Moscow and bomb the shit out of Beijing to Putin and Xi Jinping. And Trump was caught off guard by the Pentagon's decision to pause weapons shipments to Ukraine. The move, driven by concerns over dwindling U.S. stockpiles, was not fully coordinated with the White House, leaving Trump frustrated. One insider said Trump was left flat-footed by the announcement. This was reported by the Associated Press. Trump said yesterday, I am not happy with what's happening in Ukraine. So we're hearing that Hegseth unilaterally held up these key weapons shipments to Ukraine. He did it all by himself without telling Trump. And German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said diplomatic options to end the war in Ukraine are exhausted. And we're hearing that Germany plans to purchase hundreds of new Leopard 2 tanks for the Bundeswehr as part of its commitment to NATO, according to Bild. And Finland and Lithuania plan to start producing anti-personnel mines next year, citing rising security threats from Russia. Both NATO members are withdrawing from the Ottawa Convention banning such weapons, with production set to begin after the 6-month exit process. So we have Finland, Lithuania, Poland, I think some other Baltic countries, all withdrawing from the anti-personnel mine treaty, the Ottawa Convention. And so they're going to start mining the crap out of their border with Russia. Poland has already begun building the largest defense line in Europe since World War II. It's a massive defense line, like 50 miles wide, with bunkers and mines and anti-tank obstacles. And Poland recently did a massive survey in Warsaw, their capital, of old bomb shelters left over from the Cold War that they're going to try to fix up and allow people to use in the event of an attack on Warsaw. And Scalp cruise missile production has resumed in France for the first time in 15 years. These missiles have been supplied to Ukraine since 2023, but stockpiles were not replenished until now. Wow, so the first time in 15 years. And Zelensky met with Pope Leo yesterday. And the Polish president, Andrzej Duda, threatened to shut down NATO's weapons hub for Ukraine in Poland at the Rzeszów International Airport in southeastern Poland. He said, quote, "They act like it's theirs, but it's ours. If they don't like it, we'll close it and say goodbye." Wow. So Duda warning NATO that this airport is ours, not yours. And Netanyahu said yesterday that we will treat Iran's nuclear program like cancer that needs to be continually monitored. And the Houthis said that they targeted another ship in the Red Sea, the Eternity Sea, with a drone boat and 6 missiles, which led to its sinking. And there is actual footage of this, so we know that the Houthis did sink a ship in the Red Sea yesterday. And Reuters is now reporting that 15 crew members are missing from one of these ships that they sunk in recent days. Apparently 4 have been confirmed dead and 6 pulled alive, according to this report from Reuters. Wow. So the Houthis also launched another missile at Israel just about an hour ago this afternoon. And the U.S. will impose 50% tariffs on Brazil, according to a letter to Brazil's prime minister sent from Trump. Trump, in his letter to Brazil's Lula, said the way that Brazil has treated former President Bolsonaro, a highly respected leader throughout the world during his term, including by the United States, is an international disgrace. This trial should not be taking place. It is a witch hunt that should end immediately. Wow. And China says it's ready to export its J-10 fighter jets to friendly countries. While no names were given, the statement follows reports of Iran seeking Chinese fighter jets. And the European AI defense company Helsing says fully autonomous fighter jets could be operational within years, not decades. The Munich-based startup recently completed 2 test flights where its Centaur AI controlled a Gripen E fighter jet over the Baltic Sea with a human pilot on board as backup. Helsing claims the AI system rapidly outpaces human pilots in experience, racking up the equivalent of 1 million flight hours in just 72 hours of simulated learning. Wow. So guys, the US already has AI-powered F-16s. We're talking about Europeans now, but the US already has AI-powered F-16s. And we also are building the B-21 Raiders, which are going to be AI-controlled stealth bombers, which is very, very concerning, because if you ever watch the movie Terminator, that's exactly what happens in Terminator. And a new Pew Research poll says 59% of Canadians and 68% of Mexicans say the U.S. is their country's greatest threat. And flash floods in New Mexico and Chicago caused multiple people to go missing. So lots of flash flooding going on. And then, of course, the situation in Texas, well over 110 people confirmed killed in those flash floods in Texas. So, guys, it is summer now. You need to be aware of tornadoes, flash floods, hurricanes, severe thunderstorms, mudslides. Okay, you need to be aware of these things. And if you live near a stream or river, you need to have a plan. If you live close to hurricane or tornado alley, you need to have a plan, okay? But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I might be back later on tonight with another update. I do have my 24/7 live stream going right now, so you can listen to our nuclear forces. You can listen to these strategic planes sending out nuclear codes. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a massive sale on their 3-month emergency food supply. You can get 3 months of emergency food, 2,000 calories a day, for just $500. That's $200 off their normal price with free shipping included. This food has a shelf life of 25 years, and it's a variety of different types of food. So if you use the link preparewithnyprepper.com, you can save $200 on their 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. That's preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video.